Ranger.
Welcome back to Life After the Show, episode 8. And we're back in the warehouse. We were at a very odd setup in the Simpsons home for the last one. But we got a lot to talk about today because that episode was a little bit more focused on one specific topic. This one is going to be focused on a lot of what's been going on the past week or so. A lot of stuff going on with the playoff picture. We're going to talk about if the season ended today, what's going to happen. We got Volpe, we got Judge. Clint might got a hot take about Judge. And we're going to go from there. You ready?
Yeah, no, Yankees are hot right now. 11 of the last 14, I think I saw, they've won. So big time for them to get hot right now, given the fact that we did say that this was the most important 12-game stretch of their season. So, hey, good for the boys in pinstripes to go out there and get some wins right now. It's been big at a crucial time. So we are thrilled to see it.
So I'm going to put up on the screen if the season ended today, which today is Saturday, September 13th, what the playoff picture would look like. And that would have the Red Sox and the Yankees in the wild card round, with the Yankees having the tie break on them. So it would be in New York, which is great news for us.
We love that.
Yeah.
We love that.
That would be the first matchup, and the winner of that would go and play Toronto in the ALDS. So they've really pulled it off the past couple of days. So how are you feeling heading into the playoffs as of right now? Because this past stretch has been solid. Also, I need to make a comment. I'm wearing Braves gear today. They had a sick game last night. They lost 11-1. And Acuna hit a home run and did like a crazy celebration when they were down by 11 runs. So.
Yeah, he threw the grenade in the crowd. I did see that.
Down 11 runs.
Hey, way to make that moment about you if the team can't do it. But I love the fact that he just doesn't give a shit. He's going to do his thing regardless of the moment, and why not do it whenever you're down 11-0?
Yeah, so let's talk about Yankees playoffs. I feel like you have to be optimistic with how this past run's going. Now, the only thing and the main thing with the playoffs we should talk about is there's two players that are injured, and that could affect things heading into the playoffs. So we have Judge and we have Volpe. So how do you think that's going to affect things?
I think one of them is extremely more important than the other one. AKA Judge is obviously the most important team, regardless, or most important player on the team. I think Volpe's a little bit of a wild card right now. I know that they said that he had a shoulder injury, like a partially torn labrum. Talked about a cortisone shot. I don't know if that's just to save face for the fact that maybe he's had a little bit of an underwhelming season. But I'm not trying to be critical of it. I don't know. I mean, I think it's an interesting time that they came out with 3 weeks left in the season to be like, hey, Volpe's arm's been dead for half the season, and we are just now telling you guys now. Hopefully the shoulder gets better. He can get back to where he's at. I know that they had some praise from Cashman continuously saying doesn't change the way that they think about him. Seems to be that they really, really, really want to continue to publicly support this guy. So I guess that bars the question to say, is Volpe going to be the shortstop next season, or are they going to move on? We'll find that out. That's not what we're here to talk about completely today. But the other one is Judge. Judge's arm is a problem too. And just to quickly talk on that, the president of the United States needs to watch how he's shaking that man's arm.
I saw he was in the locker room, yeah.
He was aggressive with that elbow, dude. I don't think he knows that Judge is dealing with an elbow problem. So watch out, Mr. President. But with that being said, you know, the way that they talked about how Judge's arm is the current state of it right now, they're getting creative with the cuts in the outfield. You can clearly see that right arm is hampered. I think a question that I have that we won't be able to have answered until we get to see it with our own eyes is, what does 100% really look like for Judge whenever he lets it go? And I think these teams are trying to figure that out too. You're starting to see, the other day there was a time, I think it was the I can't remember what team it was. Maybe it was the Blue Jays.
I think it was the Blue Jays. Were you talking about the cutoff throw that he had?
No, maybe. I'm talking about one of the throws where they held him. They held the runner at third. Judge threw it in, and I think they held it in an effort because they respected where his arm is at whenever it's healthy. But I think that that's going to change. I think until he goes out there and he finally lets one rip and like shows these guys, hey, I can still throw you out if you run on me. So you better watch out. I think until he does that, these guys will try to run in his face. Um, I think right now, as if you're an opposing team, is a good time to try to test that arm. You know what I mean? Because when the playoffs come up, these teams do exchange notes with each other, which I think is kind of interesting. You do have teams that, like, let's just say the Baltimore Orioles are completely out of the playoffs right now. The Baltimore Orioles will get reached out to by the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays. They'll exchange notes. They'll give them some stuff on, like, some comparisons to help these teams out in the playoffs. So if you have a team like the Twins that's coming up, or the team like the Orioles that's coming up, and these guys are not necessarily going to be in the playoffs per se, those might be the guys that can go out there and test this arm and give that information to these other teams because they don't have much to lose right now. So I really want to know what the situation is going to be with Judge in the playoffs. I mean, obviously he's going to be in right field. He's going to have to let one eat. You're not going to keep Stanton out of the playoffs. He does too good in October. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah, and we'll point out that there's one like very a standout play was when he cut it off to second base when a runner was going home like a week or two ago. I think that was one that I was talking about, which is separate. And it was like a really short throw, and he didn't even contest the runner going home. And obviously, I would assume if that's a different scenario, like playoffs, he's going to try to throw it. But like you said, it'll be curious to see kind of how that plays out when it gets to the bigger scale. On top of that, though, with Judge, he did just make his way up in the all-time home runs as a New York Yankee. He is now number 4, and he passed Joe DiMaggio, and he's got a ways to go before he gets to number 3. But he's eating right now. Now, I want to make a comment too. I don't know if it was the first one or the one that passed the record. He hit over the Green Monster. He threw over the Green Monster. The Statcast called it 443 feet. That looked like 600 feet, dude. That thing cleared the Green Monster by 20, 30 feet. I don't know if I believe the Statcast on that, but those are some, just to do it against the Red Sox and just over the Green Monster, it's like disrespectful.
That was a fucking nuke.
That was insane.
And it was off my guy, Lucas Giolito, too. And which is, I know Gio pretty well, and I know he's probably thinking like, fuck. You know, because you don't want to be the guy that gives up the home run to help someone cement themselves on the all-time list. Someone's going to give it up whenever you get that close. But I don't even know how StatCast can justify where that ball landed, because that thing went off into the darkness. I mean,
obviously, but the way that it's going to carry the air by the water, I feel like that ball carried 500 feet. But what do I know?
Dog. And here's the other thing. Did they get the ball?
Somebody in the parking lot got it.
Did they? Or did it take someone
out?
I
think there's a parking lot behind there. I sat on the Green Monster last time I went to Fenway, and I remember looking back there and seeing no home runs came up when I was there, but I remember seeing a parking lot back, and I was like, I think somebody was sitting there the whole game, like waiting for a ball because they didn't have tickets. They're just sitting by their car.
Bro, somebody climbed that Green Monster during the middle of one of our games in COVID.
They
climbed it. Bro, broke into the
What? They climbed from behind?
Dog, they climbed from behind that area where Judge hit the home run, maybe a little bit to the right. But we're in the middle of the game, and stadium's completely empty, and looking out into the outfield, and some fucking guys in the Green Monster for free. Got arrested, though.
So I have a quote from a former player that we can cut out if you don't care to discuss it. Bobby Valentine, who used to play for the Mets, had a quote on Volpe. And the quote was, "The shortstop across the town was so uncomfortable that he's benched now." So he's kind of making like a disrespectful comment about him being put on the bench when what we know is based off of injuries. He's claiming, I don't know what he's claiming, but a lot of people reporting that as a very harsh statement by Bobby Valentine.
I mean, I don't feel like he's saying anything different than what half these fans have been saying. Yeah. You know, in most cases, you see somebody go out there and underperform on a consistent basis, much less for the New York Yankees, and that leash is not nearly as long as it's been for Volpe. He's got an extender leash. Like one of those, like when you take your dog out and it's got like 30 feet of walkway, his is like 2,000 feet. So, I mean, it's harsh. It's harsh in a sense of like, this guy's still pretty young and, you know, he's just kind of still a kid a little bit, but it's also the reality is that people are so used to seeing number two Derek Jeter at that spot and just being that cornerstone player, and they're so desperately want the next Derek Jeter to be there. But I think that's a little hard to say to these kids that are coming up, that you compare them to these former great players and say that you got to be the guy that fills the shoes of this guy that just played that position. And it's difficult, but I think that there's some other players that might be deserving of playing time at shortstop, like Jose Caballero, um, because Volpe's been struggling right now. And I think right now is the time you got to really dig in and figure out, like, when that lineup is submitted for the first game of the playoffs, who is going to be the guy that you go to first? Because I think that the guy that you go to first is that tone setter. It has to be the guy that you think is the best option right now, because ultimately Volpe makes a ton of errors, or he's making a ton of errors this season. I've seen a lot of really uncompetitive at bats with him, a ton, where these guys are just feeding curveballs off of the outer half of the plate, and Volpe is so far out in front of them, just making it look like he has no idea what's being thrown. So at least Caballero is going in there and being a little bit of a disruptor of on the base paths. He's getting ejected every time I watch the game. That's the one knock I've got on that guy. I've seen him get thrown out more than any of the players that have been on the team the entire year. But the Yankees have a serious question to answer with Volpe when that playoff comes around. And right now is probably a good time for them to get some of the answers that they need. Because if Volpe is sitting out for the cortisone shot that they said that he got, right now is a good chance for Caballero to really take what could be his and run with it.
Yeah, and they don't have any estimated like guesses on when he's going to be back yet. They haven't, obviously, the Yankees haven't said anything. I did see, again, I'm on Twitter getting all the Yankee stuff. There was like something about, I think that guy who's playing shortstop right now made a throw that was like way over, and they were like glad to see Volpe still on the field when he's not. The fans are frustrated with Volpe, and that quote that I brought up was in an article talking about like how the fans' frustration is now like bleeding over to the media and how they're talking about Volpe, which is unfortunate.
Oh, he's getting booed every game, dude.
How is that? Because did you experience as bad as that?
Yes.
So what? Take us through the mental of that. You're struggling. You're not at your best. The Yankees are supporting you, and then the fans are just. I mean, you gotta be ready for. You have to be mentally tough. That's what it is.
Bro, I remember so vividly Jessica Mendoza is at Yankee Stadium for Sunday Night Baseball. This lady comes down into the locker room. She's asking me to bring my cleats that I've been wearing up into the booth, right? And I'm pretty sure I gave her the Travis Scott cleats to go up and talk a little bit about. And so I'm in right field that night against the Red Sox, Sunday Night Baseball. Bro, all the boys were in town. Like Max was in town. He had just left. Daniel was in town. My only friend that was at the game that night was Corey Schaefer. And so they had all been in town the entire week. I didn't get to play one game the entire time they were there, but I got to play the night that they left. And I go out there. I make 2 errors. I think I made 3 blunders, but only 2 of them counted as an error. And I'm hearing in the outfield, "Fuck you, Clint" is being chanted. And it's loud. And I got 2 hits on the night, by the way. So doesn't matter what you're doing offensively if what you're doing defensively is the headline of the story. So it kind of, with my situation and what I feel like with Volpe's is kind of turning into, is that for the most part, the fans start to come to the game to want to watch you do well. And now it's kind of turning into they're coming to the game to watch you for the wrong reasons. And the wrong reasons are the fact that, hey, this dude's going to give us something to scream "fuck you, Volpe" about today. And if they don't get it, they're fiending for it. And they wait till the next day, because I mean, it's just becoming extremely tough to watch, because you think about the human side of it for him, and you're like, damn, this dude's wearing it on the chest. He's striking out, he's making errors, he's got that or the labrum issue. And then I saw him try to lay down a sacrifice bunt the other night, and he just bunts it foul straight to the to the
It
third
was like a
baseman.
high. That was like a pop fly almost.
And here's the other thing: the cameramen for the networks need to be a little different. And what I mean by that is, I've seen on multiple occasions now, Caballero either gets a hit or he makes an error, and the first person that they're panning to in the dugout is
Volpe.
Volpe. And then if Volpe makes an error or strikes out, the first person they're panning to is Caballero in the
messed up.
dugout. And it's like, damn, you guys are creating a little bit of division in this locker room slightly, or they're going straight to Boone. They're just going straight for the theatrics right there. So, like I said, it does become a little bit of they're watching for the wrong reasons. They're kind of rage baiting a little bit, you know. They're putting fuel on that fire, and then after the game, Boone's not necessarily helping Volpe's case if he's going out there and he's just coddling him with the way that he's talking about him, you know? Like, I think that the story would change if it was, hey, Volpe, well, let me retract that slightly. I don't think it would change now because I think they've created so much. They've coddled him so much that if Boone changes his stance on it, then it's going to be another story where it's like, what took so long? You know, I think that they're kind of gaslighting us a little bit in a sense of like, this dude's fucking amazing. And this game you guys are watching is not the same game that we're watching. And I think that's where the fans get a little frustrated is they just want to see some transparency with the things that are actually going on.
I think so. I think all that makes sense. And going into the playoffs, I think who they select to be the guy I feel like Volpe's gonna get a lot of scrutiny if it's him. If he doesn't come out and become Mr. October for the team. And maybe he does.
Bro, I mean, I saw Boone say the other day that they're just holding out hope that he could find that stretch that they know is in there. And then he even referenced what happened in the playoffs like last year and was like, Volpe was such a guy for us in the playoffs last year that how could we not play him? And it's almost like, well, how could you play him? How can you be thinking about last year when what's happening right now is not any bit reminiscent of what last year looked like? I got fucking benched whenever I sucked, and I watched other guys get benched whenever they sucked. But right now, I think that it's tough for them. And I think that I'll just say this for what it is. I think the reason why Volpe's not being benched is because the Yankees just aren't completely convinced that Caballero is better than him. If it was so striking in their eyes that Caballero was the better option, he would be the guy that's playing. Or I don't know. With the Yankees, I don't know. They operate like the White House a little bit, where it's just like it's very. They just don't tell you their cards. You know, I always made that joke saying like playing for the Yankees felt like playing for the White House with the media, the way that it was like everything was so policed. You know, so I mean the White House was at the game the other night too. I did see some tweet from a Red Sox fan, and he's on my timeline a lot. Cutter is king. You've probably seen him too.
Probably, yeah.
They put that
Glass
bulletproof glass window up
crazy.
and said that this is to protect Trump from Volpe's overthrows.
That is crazy. Did that go viral?
Yes.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So, like, I mean, come on.
Imagine if you're Volpe and you see that.
He did see that, I bet. I mean, how can you not?
I mean, at some point, like at those points where you're not like, I'm going to get off Twitter.
Dude, he's everywhere but the batting cages. He's everywhere. I mean, he was on the red carpet the other night, I think at Rizzo's foundation with the date that they're talking about. Then I think I saw that he was at like some store that was shut down in a suit doing like a promo video. I don't know if that was an old video or not, but it's just like at some point my guy Volpe is going to have to give them something else to talk about. It's got to be the performance, like good performance. It can't be what's holding them back.
And on that note, with the Yankees, they have clinched their 33rd straight winning season, which is the second longest streak in the North American pro sports history. So these wins this weekend were big, and they continue to. Well, they have one more game against the Red Sox.
They got two.
And
then
so
they play the Twins,
and they go to the Twins. So there's only 9 games left in the season?
No.
There's more.
No, more.
Wait,
I think it'll be like 15-ish.
Okay,
maybe.
I'm way off, but just to see. Oh yeah, there's a good amount left. There's like 18-ish. It looks like something like that. 10, actually.
It's not. It was 17 like 3 nights ago. I think
15. I think there's 15 if I can read correctly. So Boston, Twins, Baltimore, Chicago, Baltimore. So they should handle Baltimore. Random. Did you see that Giants Grand Slam walk off last night? Yeah. I thought it was the Orioles at first, but then I realized it was not in Baltimore, and Edwards in San Francisco.
It's the second start in a row where I don't know how to pronounce his name off the top of my head. He's nasty as fuck. The pitcher from the Dodgers. The one game where he had the no-hitter going into the ninth with like 2 outs against the Orioles and they lost, he gave up 1 hit. He gave up 1 hit again last night. Both games have been walk-offs with Tanner Scott giving up the game-winning run. And this dude's just going out there and spinning a masterclass just to get walked off in the ninth. It's
Grand slam.
You got to be pissed in that situation because I could assume that there's not a whole lot of like outward talking to one another. Like, no, they're not like that pitcher's not going up to Tanner Scott and being like, what the fuck? Yeah. But he's probably telling
in
that
his
to
head,
other
like,
people. He's definitely saying that to other people. I mean, the Dodgers are.
They're hot.
No.
Their streak's been bad lately.
They're not doing great right now.
I have not been keeping up with the Dodgers because I just know they're making the playoffs regardless.
They'll make the playoffs, but
they're 82-65, same record as the. Is that the same record as Yankees?
I think so. They're vulnerable right now. I'll just say that they're vulnerable. This is like a time where you can get them.
They got San Francisco 2 games. They got Phillies for 3 games. They got San Francisco for another 4, Arizona, and then Seattle.
I said on the stream the other night, and I'll say it right here. I'll solidify it right here. I got the Phillies winning the World Series.
I can't have that.
This is my moment.
I can't
right
have
now.
that.
This is my moment.
I cannot have
this
that.
is my moment. I've got the Phillies winning the World Series. Schwarber's going fucking crazy, bro. Free agency year 2. There's a lot of players that are going to free agency right now that here. Let me tell you something though. Since you're part of the Yankees empire now, and you're
apparently
on Twitter,
I'm about to start wearing a Yankees hat on these episodes.
You're part of the Yankees empire now. You're going to see this offseason that every one of these free agent players is going to go to free agency, and all you're going to see is like, oh, yeah, Yankees are going to get them. That's the best part about following it is that these fans truly believe that every player is going to be theirs. Schwarber will be on the top of their Christmas list. Bregman should be up there. I know Bregman's one of those dudes that the Yankees fans have slightly sour taste in their mouth about with all the Astros stuff, but it's tough for me that the fact that they got Ryan McMahon playing third on $35 million for the next 2 years when Bregman's going to be looming in free agency. And you know, no disrespect to Ryan McMahon, but he's not the same caliber player as Alex Bregman. You know what Bregman's going to put up on the stat sheet. So I want to see that Yankees lineup heavy. I mean, our episodes could be fucking crazy next year if that lineup gets turned over with Schwarber, Bregman. But they've got some holes to fill. They're gonna send some of their best players to free agency. So we're gonna see this offseason what Yankees fans really want. They want Grisham back. Do they want Bellinger back? Do they want Schwarber? Like, you can't get all of them. They've already got 3 $300 million plus players on the payroll. How many more can you fucking add?
I mean, it just depends what your limits are and how you can structure those deals in order to make it happen. Speaking of, just let's do a little update on the home run kind of lead right now in the league, because for a while we were talking about Kyle Raleigh potentially passing Aaron Judge. He slowed down.
Has he even hit one yet?
He has. He's still number 1. He has 53 home runs, so he hit 3 more. Kyle Schwarber is second with 50, which is crazy. How many? I don't even know how many seasons he's had 50.
I think that's his first.
And then Shohei's at 48, and Aaron Judge is at 47.
Shohei at 48 is the quietest 48 homer season I've ever heard.
Truly is.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And he's got, what's his average? Does it say?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right
270,
now.
280?
Let's see. Right now, hold on, I can't find it. 252.
Oh.
So 250. Yeah.
Pick it up, bud.
Yeah. I think that's accurate based off of these stats here, but he's hasn't pitched much this year.
Look, we already talked about it slightly. If Cal Raleigh slowed down like this, Judge got to win the MVP. I'm just saying
I've seen a lot of cases on Twitter. People are like, how can you not give Judge the MVP?
Because they're voter fatigue, dude. People just want to see people fall.
He's a 323, 47 home run, 101 RBIs, and a 1.118 OPS.
And he missed time.
First in average, first in OPS, 4th in home runs, and 9th in RBIs in the league.
And that elbow's mush. And he's still doing that. And he missed time. And it's in New York. And it's again. he's put these seasons up to look. I don't know how much time we've got left on the pod, but I've got to say what I've been wanting to say, and I'm looking right at everyone that's listening right now. I think Aaron Judge is the best Yankees player of all time. Now, presently, maybe not statistically, but at the end of his tenure with the Yankees, I think he's going to be the best. I mean, if he puts up 30 to 45 or 35 to 40 more home runs on an average for the next couple of seasons, you're going to see him break all those people's records that you just mentioned. He might not break Babe Ruth's,
because that number's insane.
he might not, which whatever.
He was hitting against
the
painter across the door.
Plumbers.
Yeah.
Swinging a 65-ounce bat, drunk in the box, like
smoking a cig.
Come on. What are we talking about here? Jesus. So, with all that being said, I will die on that hill that if you took Aaron Judge and you put him in the era that these players played, he's hitting 450 homers this season. Not really, but he might have a 100 home run season in there. You put some of these guys that we're talking about from the past, whatever years they're in modern day baseball today, bro, they're probably getting DFA'd and sent to the house because this is just completely different games. And the fact that I've now seen multiple pitchers come out and be like, I would strike Babe Ruth out 10 times out of 10 times. The disrespect is clearly there. So I'll say it today. I will not knock them. They could not decide what era they played baseball in. They played baseball in the era that they were in. They dominated. They did well. But sports are different nowadays. And Aaron Judge is the best, most talented player that the Yankees have fucking had. He can do it all. And he's going to continue to do it all. And he's the MVP.
What do you think is the percentage that he retires a Yankee out of 100?
Judge?
Yep.
150.
Good. I mean, that's just wanted to know.
Bruh. When that deal is up, he'll be what, 40? He's 33 right now. It goes to 2031, I think I saw. So what would that put him at right now? 6 more years, so he'd be 39-ish, 40-ish. He could hit 40 fucking homers till he's 50. He's playing on a softball field, bro. The field size is too small for him.
I feel like he's not controversial either.
No.
Like he's just like,
dude, they love him.
The Yankees fans love him. He's gonna keep hitting nukes, hit it over. I don't know. I think that's interesting, and I think I like when I see players play their time out in a team and retire with them essentially.
Dude, it's just different, man. Like he knows deep down, they're gonna sign him back regardless. He might not make the amount of money that he wants to make once this deal is up, which I'm sure that he would be fine with given the fact that he'd have over 300 in the bank. He'd be good with it. But he's going to put fans in the stands. That memorabilia is going to be insanely worth it for them as far as like selling ticket or selling jerseys and whatnot. And 3, like you said, he's not controversial. There's a reason that they want to continue to bring him around. All these little kids are wearing 99 All Rise jerseys everywhere. I mean, I think he got votes for like mayor. A few votes.
Like write-ins, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like someone's wasting their votes on that. They love this guy. And if you met him, you would feel the same way. He's just like nicest guy off the field, but once he's on the field, he's going to deposit that baseball into a whole nother dimension. And he's like I would venture out to say too, he's probably one of the few guys in MLB that could probably have gone pro in another sport. Just because, imagine him in the UFC fighting in the heavyweight.
Him versus Cyril Gahn.
Basketball. Or he could be a tight end in the NFL potentially. He just has the ability to do a lot of things. So I'm saying it here, greatest Yankee of all time whenever it's all said and done. And I think that people will agree with that once those numbers are done, whenever he's done with playing baseball.
I agree, and I only made that comment about loving players ending with that team that they've been with their career because I'm looking right at Freddie Freeman right now. Just ripped our hearts out here.
Freddie.
But with that being said, that is going to be a wrap of episode 8 of Life After the Show podcast. Again, make sure you guys check us out on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. And just keep an eye out for Clint going live for some of these post-game reactions. So kind of go live before the game ends. So as we get closer to the playoffs, when those playoffs come, there's a chance in October, very beginning, if there's a series in New York, There's a lot of things that could line up for us to be in New York.
Yeah, we're gonna hang with the gang in New York. That's what we're gonna do. Go fucking Yankees, dude. Episode 8.
So if I'm there, somebody's got to bring me a Yankees hat. I don't own a Yankees hat. If I'm there, I need one of you guys to bring me a hat, and I'll wear
Dude,
it.
we might have to get some custom stuff made. I'm fucking wearing all Yankees gear out there. I might wear my own jersey. You might still think I'm playing with the way I'm gonna look out there.
The
We
full
got-
kit
yeah.
with the cleat, put on the Travis Scott cleats, walk around in those.
Walk around just tripping over everything. I don't care, man. We want them to win. I'm not here to hate on them. We want them to win. It's good for us. It's good for y'all. So go Yankees.